As a huge fan of the LEGO series, I have gotten the Platinum Trophy on many popular titles. But it has been a while since I played my last LEGO game. Which is why in this video I will be getting the Platinum Trophy for... The game only covers the first two movies, An Unexpected Journey and Desolation of Smaug. As for the trophies, I got 2 trophies a while ago from completing the first 2 missions, so to get the platinum I just have 38 of the 40 trophies to obtain. The game plan is simple. Complete the story and earn the trophies you get for completing each mission. Free play all the missions to get all the minikits, schematics, treasures and master burglar titles. Complete all the quests in the open world, collect all the mithril bricks and all the characters. And lastly, forge all the blacksmith schematics, get all the red bricks and complete miscellaneous activities. Our story begins in the kingdom of Erebor, where I was introduced to the game's mechanics. Mechanics such as forging, instruction builds, and mining. Not soon after, the mission ends when the kingdom is invaded by a wealth-hungry dragon named Smaug, giving me my first trophy. In the second mission, Bilbo sits down to have dinner, only to be interrupted by Thorin and company. Once they eat his food and do the dishes, Bilbo is then asked to help the dwarves take back Erebor by being their burglar. The mission ends and I get my second trophy. We were then introduced to Thorin's past, more precisely the war between the dwarves and the orcs. The leader of the orcs, Azog the Defiler, defeats the king of the dwarves. Enraged by this, Thorin fights Azog and disarms him, forcing the orcs to retreat and live to fight another day. In the very next mission, the dwarves are forced to retrieve their horses from the trolls that stole them, using Bilbo Baggins and his advanced stealthy feat. Their plan fails, leading to the trolls getting ready to cook the dwarves. Bilbo, in a desperate attempt, tries to distract the trolls to buy them some time. It is here where I earn the trophy for collecting 99 of any material. Not long after, Big G, Gandalf the Grey, shows up and saves the day, giving me another trophy. After a brief time in a troll cave where Bilbo gets his first weapon, the story then introduces us to Radagast the Brown and his unique healing abilities. After healing his rabbits, they fight a few orcs and then retreat with Gandalf. On the way to Erebor through the high pass, the dwarves encounter 2 rock giants fighting each other. Half of them are then forced to scale the rock giant to get back on the mountain. In the next mission, Bilbo gets separated from the dwarves and comes across none other than Gollum. While Bilbo and Gollum are engaged in a game of riddles, Thorin and company are busy fighting the Goblin King. The mission ends with all of them successfully escaping the cave. We finally reach the final chapter of the first movie, where the dwarves are faced with yet another problem, Azog and his minions. While both sides are engaged in a heated battle, Gandalf calls for reinforcements to save them. In the beginning of the second movie, after escaping the orcs, Gandalf tells the gang he knows of a place where they can find shelter. It doesn't take them long to reach their destination, mainly because they were chased there by the host of the shelter, a giant bear. More accurately, a skin changer named Bjorn. In the next mission, the gang stumbles into a nest of giant spiders, where Bilbo's newly acquired trinket was put to the test. Once Bilbo kills the spiders and frees the dwarves, more spiders surround them. Only this time the dwarves get help from Legolas and Tauriel. After defeating the spiders, the elves capture and imprison the dwarves, leaving Bilbo to save them yet again. They successfully escape in barrels down a river. We are then introduced to Bard the Bowman, a smuggler that provided the dwarves with food, supplies, and shelter in Lake Town. The orcs who followed the dwarves to Lake Town were too late. Thorin and company had left for Erebor. Instead, they faced another problem: Legolas and Tauriel. Meanwhile, Gandalf and Radagast were on a different mission, investigating the tombs in the mountains. If video games have taught me anything, it's to expect bad things to happen in the dark. Good thing I'm with Gandalf the Grey. To uncover the mystery of the darkness, Gandalf and Radagast head to Dal Guldur, where they are greeted by Azog the Defiler. After a brief fight, Azog calls for reinforcements, forcing the duo to flee. Unfortunately for them, they come across the necromancer, Sauron.
No. Wait.
The story then cuts back to Thorin and company as they scale the mountain to find the hidden entrance to Erebor. Excited and impatient, Thorin gives a speech, Dwalin clears the path, and Bomber plays with his sausage. The mission ends when they find the door and enter the kingdom. We have now reached the end of the story, where Bilbo must sneak in and find the Arkenstone. Smaug figures out what the dwarves are up to, forcing Thorin and the gang to set a trap. While setting the trap, I got the trophy Master Builder for earning 150,000 studs from instruction builds. The mission soon ends with Smaug falling for their trap, earning me another trophy. Now that I finished my story and I'm back in free roam, the first thing I did was head straight to the bonus level, where I got my next trophy for causing mayhem as a rock giant. Before starting the free play story missions, I unlocked Sauron, Saruman, and a few of the multiplayer red bricks for me to achieve all the collectibles and Master Burglar titles. After playing a few levels in free play, I decided to end the day with a few of the miscellaneous trophies. Trophies such as Bros Before Gold for doing 50 buddy up attacks, Team Building for using every dwarf in Thorin's company to do a buddy up attack, and Conjurer of Cheap Tricks for using Gandalf's startle ability on 50 enemies.
You shall not pass!
The next day, instead of heading back to free play, I spent a few hours having fun in free roam. That's when I got the trophy for mining perfectly 50 times. After spending many hours collecting mithril bricks in the open world, the collectible grind was getting to me. And that's when I came across this guy. Felt like he was mocking me. So I decided to go back to free play missions. You know, where skeletons won't be dancing.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Not long after, I reached the end of the free play playthrough, giving me the trophies for earning all Master Burglar titles, all schematics, and all minikits. But before heading back to the open world, I decided to replay another mission to get the co-op trophy out of the way. Thank you, Remote Play app. And now the real grind begins. I spent hours doing missions, buying characters, and collecting all studs along the way. until I ended up in Lake Town. Once there, I headed straight for the character builder to build my own custom character. As excessive as the collectibles are, it isn't nearly as frustrating as the bugs. Like this one, a mission where I'm supposed to escort a few singers back to their leader. But the last singer had other plans. I spent a while trying to get him to move, and instead of restarting the game, I just moved on to collecting a nearby mithril brick instead. And that's when the game decided to do this.
The king beneath the mountains, the king of carven stone, the lord of silver fountains shall come into his own.
I had to sit through this performance because the game wouldn't let me back out.
12 seconds later.
His crown shall be upholden.
Nevertheless, since I had a lot more collectibles to get, back to the grind I went. Did a few more missions in Lake Town, then headed to the blacksmith in Bree. Not to forge the schematics, but to collect purple studs. And that's when I got the trophy for acquiring 10 billion. Instead of forging the schematics I had, I decided to collect all of them first. Here's the final one. After getting that trophy, I went back to doing free roam quests to enjoy my final moments in Middle-earth. I enjoyed the view, watched a dance battle, rode a goat, and not long after that I came across Bjorn. And soon after unlocking him, the first thing I did was transform. Soon after, I headed back to the blacksmith to forge the last of the mithril treasures. When this happened. Okay, before heading inside, let's look good. And the trophy. What? No trophy? Surely this variant will give me a trophy, right? And the trophy. Okay, now that's concerning.
12 seconds later.
Is there a variant I'm missing? Oh, there is one. Surely this variant will give me the trophy, right? And the trophy. There we go. Dawn of the Mushroom King. Oh boy, that made me nervous. And without wasting any more time, I went back to forging. Schematics? Check. Game face? Check. I forged again and again and again until I hit a roadblock. Miscalculation at its finest. Turns out I was missing a few mithril bricks. I got excited by the platinum and assumed I got all of them. So naturally, I went after the last few mithril bricks. And I witnessed another bug. Only this time, I didn't walk away. I did what any gamer in my shoes would. A couple missions later, I reached the last quest I needed for the final mithril brick, which also gives me the trophy. And now, back to the last forge. After completing the final forge, I got 2 trophies. One for forging all the mithril treasures, and the other for forging all perfect mithril treasures. I then went and did the last quest, which gave me the trophy Ever the People's Champion. After completing that final mission and unlocking the character, the last character spawned, Jim Lee the blacksmith. So that's exactly where I headed, back to Bree, which then gave me another trophy for achieving 100% completion. This next trophy is proof that if given the choice, I will always end my platinum journey with an easy or fun trophy, which in this case requires me to equip a dazzle wig, a mithril rhythm stick, and mithril dance shoes, giving me the trophy Lord of the Prance, and the Platinum. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one.